I'm here with Heather Kahn, and she is a math teacher from Marlboro High School, and she is known for using Desmos, this new app. Actually, it's kind of fairly new, right? You've been using it for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're well known for using it, and we're talking inside the schools for first edition, and I would love to get to know this app because it seems that it's really taken off.
Sure. So there's several different components to the app. There is a graphing calculator app, which is awesome because it's accessible to all of our students because it's free. So instead of having to purchase a graphing calculator, which we do still offer at Marlboro High School and still want our students to learn how to use, they can download this app onto their phones or use it on their Chromebooks. And they have a graphing calculator accessible to them 24/7, which they can use on homework and different activities in class. There's also an activity builder platform to it, which allows teachers to do in-class investigation activities. So when we're studying function transformations, for example, they can figure out how does changing each of the values affect the graph. Wow. Whereas like if you're trying to do this on paper, you have to erase it. Yep, and you have to it's just not as visual.
Right.
So using Desmos, you can just change one of the sliders and see, okay, when I increase the value, the function moves to the right. But when I decrease it, it moves to the left. So why is that happening and what does that look like? And then we can generalize it later for class notes or just then move forward from there. You can use it by downloading the app, but you can also just use it through the web browser.
Oh,
and
great.
that is actually the preferred method of myself and my students just because we have the internet access here. But for the most part, you have students log in. You give them a class code. And so you, as a teacher, I generate this code unique for each class. I used to, potentially let all of my students use the same code, but then they would be in the activity potentially all day, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because they might go to history class and they're still in the code.
Right.
And so I've started to change it for each of my classes. And so they go in, there's a student login website and a teacher login. And they just input their code, they input their name, and then they just start. I walk around with my iPad so that I can look at the teacher dashboard. I can actually see my student names, but then I can also anonymize it. That's a new feature, so when you project it, they won't know who said what.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is really nice because they're not scared.
Right, they're not worried about, it's kind of like the whole asking a question in front of everyone idea. That's great, I like that.
So that's a relatively new feature. If I went to this one, some of them are looking different. So I might look at this one and be like, all right, what's going on with this student? What misconception might they not be finding out? So then I can either click that student, but I can really now just go to that student and talk about it with them.
So it's like real time, and it's you visually being able to understand maybe where they're coming from instead of them having to figure out what they're not understanding.
Exactly.
So it's a different way of looking at teaching, really.
It is, yeah. It's very personalized. They can move at their own pace. One of the things that the company values, and I do as a teacher, is that there's an easy entry point to every activity.
Yeah.
So everyone can get started, but they usually increase in difficulty as they go. So it provides more of a challenge to students as they go through the activity, but everyone feels like there's a place to start. They have a teacher pacing feature now and a pause class feature. And so these were developed from that concern, one of the concerns that some students also, yes, they might be going more slowly, but to be honest, those ones are easy to find using the teacher dashboard. It's the students that are flying and they just are going through the activity, and maybe it's because they really understand it and they're just going that fast, or maybe they don't care that much and so they're just trying to get through it as quickly as possible. But I can now, teacher pacing will allow me to snap everyone to one screen. So that's why I'll use my board and I'll say
they all have to stop.
They all have to stop. So, and it will automatically, when I end the teacher pacing, go back to where they were. So I have when I give an activity, I've already predetermined little stopping places, or I'll quickly notice something that needs to be addressed, and then I'll add that in.
So it sounds, you're like a pro at this, and you've been using it for a while. Are there other teachers in Marlboro High School that are using it, or in this district that you know of that are using it?
Yes, and you say it sounds like I'm a pro. I don't feel like one. There's so much about this that I still need to learn and feel like I've learned, and we all have our different strengths. So with Desmos, I feel really strong using the activity builder, but the calculator itself has all these features too, which I know that other teachers. So Jeff Downin, another math teacher here at the high school, like he uses the calculator a lot in his class to show different functions that they're studying and how you can just manipulate them. And so we definitely have, and some teachers at our middle school. I have done some PD with the teachers in Marlboro over the past couple of years to share some of the things, but things keep coming out, so we're constantly learning some new features.
So since things are always coming out, it sounds like Desmos is sending you somewhere to maybe help that situation?
Last spring was selected to be a Desmos Teaching Fellow, and I am so excited about this opportunity, but I was selected and they're actually flying me out to San Francisco and along with about 40 other fellows from across the country, and they are going to, talk about some of their new features, their philosophy. I think they're really there for us, and so they've already been asking us what do we want to learn from them while we're out there. When Marlboro went 1-to-1, there was a concern of teachers that we should just use the technology because we have it and we're told we have to. Like, I only want to use it when it fits the idea, the lesson.
That goes along with teachers teach differently. And it's all personal style. And it sounds like you found yours with Desmos, and it's only going to grow. And it's really exciting you're going to San Francisco, which, by the way, I am born and raised. So,
oh, very nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. I'll have to ask you how it was.
Definitely.
Have you ever been?
I have been.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I was there a couple years ago for another math conference. So I'm excited
on the
to go out
go.
there. Yes.
Well, thank you for teaching us a little bit about this. It sounds really educational, and maybe it'll spread a little more, and it sounds like it's starting with you going to San Francisco. That's Inside the Schools for First Edition. I'm Zoe Zandora.